What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is UK. Trotter brother, Dr. Blick, the darkest man around, and I'm here with a guy that's never, ever appeared on my channel. Introduce yourself, man.
I am MJ from Geek List Tv. Thank you for having me on the channel, man. It's a first.
No problem, man. It's always good to have new people on my channel. And today, guys, we'll be talking about Ace from One Piece. You guys know it's been a while since I've done a One Piece discussion, and I brought Geek List TV to talk about Ace and whether he had HAKI in One Piece. So, Geek List, what'd you think, man? Like, did he have HAKI?
I would have to assume so. I would just have to assume so because it's kind of mind-boggling that he wouldn't. I mean, I've seen threads about why he doesn't, but it just seems too illogical for me, you know what I mean? Because you can create a lot of headcanon and stuff, but it just seems too illogical, bro. Like, he took on Aokiji. He's fucking first division commander, bro. Like, I just do not see it, you know what I mean? I just do not see him having HAKI. I really don't.
I totally agree with that. Like, when it comes to him not having like HAKI, and then you gotta bear in mind his bounty is still more than Luffy's. Like, Luffy's on like 400 and 450. Like, Ace's bounty was like, was it like 600, 500? I'm not too sure, like, off head. But Ace's bounty was still more than him. And then you gotta bear in mind that Ace was already wanted pirate before he joined Whitebeard's crew. And then you gotta factor into account that Ace actually clashed with Aokiji with the what's the Magnum fruit and obviously the fire like the flame fruit. You saw they clashed together, and then like some people would say that since they clashed together, that would mean that he has HAKI, because if he didn't, his arm would completely rip off. His arm will come to shreds. And
however, though, I noticed from a lot of threads, though, bro, a lot of people try to bring up the whole science stuff, that science has to do a lot with it, that his flames could have been like a natural resistance. I mean, that's just one argument that I've seen, which is a fine argument, because One Piece does utilize like science a lot in a lot of their fights, you know what I mean? So, that's a fine argument. I just think that argument doesn't go too long, because, again, it's like, you have Ace, who was one of the top commanders, you know what I mean? He was under Whitebeard, you know? Most of the other top tiers in the Whitebeard crew had HAKI. I just feel like, plus, when you look at it, I don't want to say Ace knew exactly what it was, but he did seem pretty shocked that Luffy was able to perform Conqueror's HAKI during the Marineford arc, the same way that all the admirals were shocked, and the same way that Whitebeard was shocked. So it kind of comes to my conclusion that if Ace at least knew what HAKI was, if he knew what Conqueror's HAKI was, or if he knew the 3 types of HAKI, I just feel like, why would he not learn it? Because I don't see Ace being the type of person who, if he thinks he can get stronger and he knows he can get stronger by learning HAKI, I don't see why he wouldn't do it, you know what I mean? Especially with being a top tier in the crew, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems too illogical. Plus, you gotta think about it. If Sanji and Usopp, bro, if they can utilize HAKI, I just don't see why Ace couldn't do it, you know what I mean? I just feel like he had to at least had some form of armament HAKI, maybe not to the degree that like Luffy has it, because you know Luffy can utilize that shit crazy. You look at his Gear 4 form, you know what I mean? So maybe not to that degree, but I just feel like he still had it, you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, obviously we've seen people like with Luffy and Virgo, you know, who can control their armament HAKI to a certain degree. Like Virgo could cover his whole entire body with it, you know what I mean? So maybe Ace wasn't that mastered with it, and he didn't have it trained that much, but I feel like he at least had to have it, you know? That he could at least create some form of visible armor, like you said, because he took on Aokiji, you know? So.
And another thing we gotta bear in mind is the fact that, like, when it comes to like the whole debate whether Ace did not have HAKI, whether Ace did have HAKI, if we actually use the science logic of how it protected it, how it was a resistance, then Ace should still be alive. Plain and simple, Ace should still be alive. And like, I know some people say Ace died because he didn't have HAKI. Ace died because he didn't have HAKI. You gotta bear in mind, Shanks lost his arm to like that sea creature, and then he looked at that sea creature and he felt the presence of Shanks' HAKI. So since he felt the presence of Shanks' HAKI, you could assume that is a similar situation, how he jumped in front to save Luffy as a reflex and never really thought of what the consequence could be. Like, it was one of those things that he did it without thinking. Like, it was done without thinking. Same with Shanks. And Shanks even said, it doesn't matter. And same with Ace. Ace is like, oh, you can't save me. I'm done. I'm finished. Like, he accepted what the outcome was from what happened. And, like, with all this stuff, like panned around like Ace as a character, and then you got to factor in, then you got to take another thing into account that Ace was a user of Conqueror's Haki. There's no indication that he mastered it, but we do know that he was a user of Conqueror's Haki. Like you said, he should at least have some form of armor Haki. You see people like Bellamy, who Luffy one-shotted twice. He got Haki. That guy got Haki too. And you're telling me Ace doesn't have Haki, and Ace is nowhere near as dangerous as Bellamy. I know, like, the bounties, like, some people would call it the One Piece power levels because of how they seem to work. Me, in my opinion, when it comes to the bounties, I feel like is how dangerous they are and how much of a threat they are to the government. Ace is a clear indication. Then you got to bear in mind, if Ace did not have Haki, he wouldn't have struggled. He would have struggled against Blackbeard. Like, it wouldn't be as close of a fight as it turned out to be. He would have completely struggled against Blackbeard. And then you got to bear in mind that Ace wasn't backing away from Blackbeard. He was still going at him full throttle, still attacking him, still giving him pain. Like, if he was heavily reliant on his Darrow Fruit, he would have completely been one-shotted by Blackbeard. He would have lost. He would have taken all this. But he still carried on going. The outcome was because Blackbeard was a more crafty, a more dominant fighter, and pretty much had like a plan behind pretty much everything. Like, Blackbeard's a crafty guy, bruh. But yeah, like you said, I totally agree with like, it doesn't make any sense for him not to have Haki. And if he did use ARMAMENT Haki from himself getting hit in the chest, do you know how many people would have said that's BS and how he should have died? How he shouldn't have been able to block that? So many people would have said it was BS if you just see some black shit just come up in his body like, nah fam, I'm blocking it. So many people would have called it BS. So it kind of makes sense that he did die. And then you got to factor in count, like, with the Shanks thing as well. So Ace,
I mean, bro, I would go as far to say that he had at least the two types of prominent Haki. Now, obviously, I'm going to plug a video here. I got a video coming next week. What is Haki? I explain Haki in One Piece, and you already know this, but we know that there's two types of prominent Haki, which is observation and armament. I feel like Ace had to have had at least both of those, because you look at, like, if Kobe could fucking awaken his mantra, if he could awaken that shit, bro, I feel like Ace could have at least done it to some form of degree. Now, obviously, we know that he has Conqueror's Haki, but you know that that's different. You can't actually train yourself to make that stronger. You have to, that works with your own spirit, and you have to grow as one to increase that. So I'm pretty sure he couldn't use that at will, like how Luffy could after 2 years of training with Rayleigh. I don't think he could use that at will, but I do at least feel that he had to have had some degree of training with the two types of prominent Haki. If not, to me, that's just fucking weird, because it sort of contradicts what Rayleigh tells Luffy, that in the new world, all of the big names on the sea use this ability. You know what I mean? Like, every big name out there uses this, and Ace was a big name, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? He was a known pirate, so it just seems to me like he would have at least learned armament. I would have to assume that, because Ace knows he's not the only fucking Logia out there. He would have fought one sooner or later. You know what I mean? So.
And then you go. That's me.
That's me.
I was just gonna say, then you got to factor in count like Whitebeard. Whitebeard would have taught him, and then you got to factor in count that you see people like Whitebeard using, you see Marco using, you see all these people around him using like Haki, and then him to be the only one with such a high position. It wouldn't make any sense. And then another argument that some people could say, Ace may have had Haki, but he wasn't able to use it due to the condition that he was in, because he was probably starved and impelled down. Like, a lot of things might have happened to him when he was like kept as a prisoner there. Like, a lot of things, like there's one thing for sure, we know that Ace wasn't 100%. We know that he wasn't at his peak in terms of what he can do, so that could have played a massive part. And then you got to bear into mind, and I know this could be counted as filler, but Oda did have a hand in the episode. Then you got to take into account Sabo. When they showed Sabo's backstory in the anime, I know it wasn't in the manga, but Oda did have a hand, so you can kind of technically say it's canon, but it's up to you whether you think it's canon or not. But Sabo, they showed how much of a natural Sabo was as a kid, And seeing Ace, Luffy, and Sabo's backstory, you saw that Sabo and Ace were around the same level, or maybe Ace was slightly stronger, or maybe Sabo was slightly stronger. They're around the same level. Like, it's kind of like, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, kind of similar to Goku and Vegeta. One of them keeps surpassing the other, like kind of like that. So if Sabo was able to master Haki at the age of 17 that quickly, Ace should be able to do it. And they're with two influential people. Like, Sabo has a big role with the revolutionaries, and Ace has a big role with the Whitebeard pirates. It wouldn't make any sense if he did not have Haki. And this is going to be a topic that a lot of people are going to be discussing. This is going to be a topic a lot of people are going to be debating. Some people are saying Ace lost because he was heavily relying on his Devil Fruit. And there's been factors that shown that that's not the case, because he fought against Whitebeard. He fought against Whitebeard and he got bodied every time. he fought against Blackbeard as well. Like, Ace has been that guy not to shy away from a fight. And like you said, he's been a guy that wants to get stronger, that wants to constantly improve. Like, when they were kids, they would constantly train each other to get stronger, and train each other to become better fighters, like in general. So it wouldn't make any sense that he wouldn't know that. But then again, Whitebeard did not tell him that. Okay, Ace kind of knew that Goldie Roger was his dad, but like, Whitebeard tried to play it off like it was nothing. But Whitebeard, like, that's besides the point anyway. But yeah, Geek List, do you have anything to add on to that?
I mean, again, I just want to throw it out there. Like, we're not trying to say like Ace was this master of Haki. Like, he probably wasn't somebody like Rayleigh or even like Virgo or Zoro who can like transfer this power into weapons or can cover their whole entire bodies with it. But I just feel like he at least had to have trained in it, just due to the fact that Marco and them could utilize Haki, and obviously Whitebeard as well. You know what I mean? It just seems too illogical that he would not have learned to master that. You just brought up a good point there. He was always training to better himself. He was training with Luffy as a kid, with Sabo, etc. So it just seems like if he knew there was a way to better himself with Haki, I don't see why he wouldn't have trained. You know, that's just me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's one other thing that just came to mind now, and this is because you said something about Virgo. And the reason why this came to mind is Law cut Virgo in half, full body Haki. Like, and Law did not have any sign of Haki on his sword. So it really depends on how strong the Haki was. And in my opinion, Akainu's Haki was obviously stronger. Like, Akainu was wrecking cheats at Marine Ford. The only time he didn't wreck it is when the Yonkos came. He got scared of Whitebeard. He hid underneath that rock until Whitebeard died. When Whitebeard stood over his shoulder, he looked like he shot himself. Like, there were so many indications where Akainu was dominating people, but when it came down to the real legends of like the One Piece universe in terms of pirates, he shied away from it because he knew his limits. And Ace never really knew that. Like, Ace never even backed down from a fight. It's always been that thing. Like I said, Virgo had full body Haki, but Law was still able to cut him in half. So it all depends on how strong the Haki is. And yeah, that's what I got to say on it. You got anything else to add, or that's it?
I think that's it, man.
Okay,
make sure to comment down below if you disagree with us or if you...
Yeah, guys, just leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, and check out Geek List TV. His channel will be in the description below. I highly recommend you guys check it out, and also check out his What is Full Body Haki video. And yeah, let me just wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please like, rate, and enjoy this video. And yeah, catch you next one, guys. Bye.